In Part 2 of creating a job shadowing program, ClearView Management Resources will continue to take you through your JSP by organizing the subject matter and creating tools to support the learning process. When does a meeting of multiple people become a waste of resources? In other words, little value added. In order to make the most of your company's resources, including time, all that you want to cover and they want to learn needs to be organized into phases, subject matter delivery options, instructional methodology, and illustration formats. Here is a recommendation of the various phases to format as a part of structuring the job shadowing program. Let's start with the student preparation exercises. Preparation for the worksite job shadowing event. This phase starts the process of informing the students about businesses. Let's first define sample icons for various curriculum documents that ClearView Management Resources uses to provide a quick indicator of what type of work or exercises are to be done. The employer should provide students structured learning and exploring activities. For example, informational, illustrative materials and/or links to materials. To inform the students about your industry, your company, and the jobs you will walk them through during the next phase. The preparation exercises are like homework, to be done on the student's time, at their pace, to the depth they want to go. They may even decide to do more research than you suggest. Employers can provide tools, such as videos, blogs, their website to attract and engage students prior to even stepping foot on site. This is an example of an exercise worksheet that ClearView has created that companies can use to modify as their own for the preparation phase. The next phase, worksite job shadowing, is the main event, where students see your business in action. They will see it, feel it, learn it. They will walk the halls, floor or space where they would work and see people they would work with, tools they would use, products and services they would create or perform, customers, and then some. Typically, this is a one-time event for a student group and will last 2 to 3 hours dependent on all that you want the students to experience. In the next phase, student follow-up activities, there are 2 basic scenarios: assignments and requests. An assignment is structured similar to the preparation exercises as a document with more informational, illustrative materials and/or links to materials that are tied to exercises. These will be designed for the students to learn more about the products and services, the tools used to perform the jobs, the talents needed for the jobs, and how to develop those talents. Here is a sample of the curriculum for student follow-up activities that can be used as an assignment. Another follow-up activity may come in the form of student requests. Individuals may ask for additional opportunities to do more worksite observations, shadowing, to have a mentor from the employer, to be able to meet and ask more questions, etc. And finally, the phase, student debriefing, is primarily the responsibility of the student with the school system. However, here is an idea of what the debriefing of their job shadowing experience may include as an example. Also, as an employer, receiving feedback from the debriefing may result in you modifying your job shadowing program, JSP, and maybe even your talent management and leadership strategies. Next, we will discuss the different delivery options now that you've identified a listing of specific subject matter that you'd like to cover with the students and the phases of a job shadowing program. We have identified 3 main categories of delivery options: in person, hard copy, and virtual. We label one of these delivery options, virtual, which includes student prep and the student follow-up exercises. The students do all the work, readings, watching videos and slideshows combined with their analysis and some writing, with support from their school, for example, teacher, counselor or WBL coordinator-led group or individual follow-up discussions. We label the worksite job shadowing event delivery option as the in-person delivery option. The information is delivered in person in a walkthrough, show and tell or demonstration format. The experience is captured only in memory or notes, no other ability to visit what they saw or learned. And you can deliver them addition information in the form of a hard copy handout before they leave the worksite job shadowing event. We refer to all of the subject matter information given to them in the form of hard copy or virtual as the reference library information because it is given as hard copy or digital documents with links to other materials, for example, readings, videos and slideshows, and the students can keep them or access them at any time after the JSP event. Please keep in mind that parts of the JSP should be engaging to learn more accurately what a business is like. They need to physically see the space, Activities or operations, such as some work processes with outcomes, people at work, maybe including some customers, and the culture, talking, laughing, working together, fellowship. Tools being used and explained, big and small, direct production versus measurements versus data entry versus maintenance, and materials being used. And maybe even have the students engage with the physical. Touch something such as a product or a tool, shake employees' hands, read a chart, see screen, and walk away with something, such as a small product or piece of waste. Whatever you can come up with. The physical or in-person delivery option is what they will remember most, however, requires a bigger ongoing time commitment from the employer. So, what subject matter information can be delivered as virtual or hard copy? In a reference library format to keep your in-person, worksite job shadow event at 2 to 4 hours. To identify the subject matter information that should be covered in the reference library and how it should be delivered, gather the following documents. The document you created under Define Subject Matter, that lists the details and specifics to cover in the JSP is referenced in Part 1 of this series. Sample Student Preparation for Job Shadowing Event. Sample Student Follow-up Activities. Now that you've gathered those, go down the list of details and specifics and identify items that you believe would be best illustrated, taught in person. Check them off and put an IP, in red, beside them. Next, review the student preparation document. Evaluate what subject matter the exercises illustrate or would illustrate. Compare to your details and specifics defined subject matter. The ones that the exercises cover, check them off and put an RLT, in green, beside them. Then enter the specific info you want to deliver into the second column of the RLT in the appropriate row, based on the subject matter category, and put a check mark in the student prep column of the same row. Review your student follow-up sheet. Evaluate what subject matter the exercises illustrate or would illustrate. Compare to your details and specifics to cover. The ones that the exercises cover, check them off and put an RLT, in green, beside them. Then enter the specific info you want to deliver into the second column of the RLT in the appropriate row, based on the subject matter category, and put a check mark in the student prep column of the same row. Go back down the list of detail and specifics and determine if any items in the list have not been checked off and have a red IP beside them or a green RLT beside them. Now, ask yourself, could these be covered by a handout? If yes, check them off, put a green RLT beside them, and fill out the RLT. If not, ask yourself again if they should be in the student prep or student follow-up, or is it best to be done in person. We hope you have found this video helpful in the development of your job shadowing program. Join us next time, in Part 3 and the conclusion of creating a job shadowing program series, where we will go through how to best create tools that support the learning and build the curriculum to deliver it. And if you liked this content, please show us by hitting the like button and subscribing to this channel. Thanks for listening.